As Eric said, my name is Rob Engblom. I'm the Michigan delegate, and I also am the Executive Director for Housing and Residence Life at Davenport University, which is a small private school here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I'll let Matt introduce himself too.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Matt Kovach. I'm an Assistant Director of Housing and Residence Life at Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana, and I serve currently as the Indiana State Delegate. So welcome, please.
All right, we do also want to just give a big thanks to Eric, our lovely webmaster, who is here for all these webinars. He puts in a lot of work on the back end of things, and we just appreciate him helping us with this presentation today. We're going to just kind of talk about the GLACUHO Conference for all the folks who are attending for the first time. We're very excited to have you here and already learning about our conference. We'll go over a little bit of the history of GLACUHO quickly here, and then kind of get into the nuts and bolts of the presentation. GLACUHO really started in 1973. That was kind of our first organized conference. And one of the things we're really excited about this fall is actually be the 40th conference in GLACUHO history. We had a couple of years where we do multiple conferences in a year, but it'll actually be our 40th anniversary conference this fall. So it's a really exciting time to kind of get involved with GLACUHO and recognize just kind of how historical our organization really grows. We've definitely grown over the last 30 plus years as an organization. Last year when we held the conference in Collinsville, Illinois, we had about 350 delegates, half of which are just like you folks listening, brand new to the conference. Around 80 institutions represented as well. So we have it's a good-sized conference, but not too big so that you feel lost. As far as GLACUHO goes, we're made up of 4 different states: Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and Ohio. I'm Matt, the delegate for Indiana, and I'm the delegate for Michigan. So we'll let you read between the lines as to which states we're maybe favor, but we are welcoming of all states and all comers, and we're excited to have you guys headed to Michigan this fall. As far as institution types too, we take all kinds: public, private, large, small, faith-based, not secular, the whole deal. If you've got a housing department at a university in these 4 states, you are welcome to attend GLACUHO. And we also include all levels of housing professionals. There's actually a link off the slide here that you can kind of hop onto and kind of get some professional definitions. But we take everyone from graduate assistants, new professionals, mid-level folks, all the way to senior housing officers and chief housing officers. And I think you'll see at the conference a good mix of all those different professional types. So really, GLACUHO, our mission and vision is to learn, lead, and serve, as an organization, and to be a premier regional housing organization. But as far as our purpose goes, we want to better prepare housing officers to meet diverse and changing needs of those we serve, with the primary concern of students, of course, to contribute to the improvement of dining services, residential life, and residential facilities, provided by housing officers. We want to advance and communicate professional knowledge and standards in the field of student housing, provide opportunities for education and professional development of housing officers, which of course our annual conference is one of our main modes of accomplishing that. We want to sponsor activities and services which assist housing officers in exchange and distribution of information and ideas. And we want to be supportive of goals and purposes of the Association of College and University Housing Officers International, and that's a GLACUHO-I. GLACUHO is an officially recognized regional organization under that GLACUHO-I umbrella. So just as far as some of the goals of what we want to accomplish today, we want to create awareness of the opportunities at the GLACUHO conference, provide suggestions and just kind of good tips for how to make the most of your conference experience, and really just kind of get you to familiarize yourself with our website, which you can find at www.glacuho.org. Very easy to link to. So we're going to talk a little bit about how you can network, learn, lead, and serve, and we'll kind of identify some opportunities and best conference practices. So with that, I'm going to switch it over to Matt.
Thanks, Rob. One of the first things we want to mention to you about the annual conference is it's a great opportunity to network. Like I said, we have 350 to 400 delegates that come in. We have a lot of special guests coming in this year for our 40th anniversary conference, so we're very excited about that. So we really encourage you to take this opportunity to network with others from other institutions. It's always nice to see familiar faces there, but keep in mind there are going to be those present who will not have familiar faces. Some schools will bring a large delegation. Some schools might only send one person. And so we want to make sure everyone's getting the same positive experience. So you make sure you're branching out from your home institution folks and taking the opportunity to meet some other people in the housing profession in our region. A couple of things we've set up to specifically do this at the conference. The conference will begin Sunday afternoon. There are some opportunities prior to that, which we'll get into a little bit later, but the main part of the program starts with the Connections program on Sunday afternoon at 3:30 in the Convention Center. The Convention Center is attached to the hotel where we're staying, so it's very convenient. You don't have to go outside if the weather's bad. But this is really a great opportunity to connect with other people at various levels in the housing profession in our region, providing kind of a mentorship role. Any questions you might want to ask, whether it's about the conference specifically, the profession, institutions, all of those sorts of factors are definitely involved, in people willing to assist you and make your first conference experience at GLACUHO a very positive one. If you're interested in this program, this web link below, and if you go to www.glacuho.org, and you should be able to find the links that go with this. I know it's a lot to just write down right now, but you'll find more information on the Connections program there. We do ask you to sign up for that prior to the conference, so we have an idea of how many folks to expect, so we're prepared for the crowd for that. Then also we have a first-time attendees orientation. Whether you participate in the Connections program or not, we invite everyone who's attending GLACUHO for the first time to come to this on-site orientation. We'll go over some more details of what's going on at the conference, what maybe some lingo that you'll find in your conference binder that maybe you're not familiar with. We'll walk you through that. Various members of the GLACUHO Executive Board will be on hand in that session, so they can meet you, you can meet them, talk a little bit about what their roles are going to be throughout the conference. From there, the other big meeting is the business meeting. This takes place first thing Monday morning. We realize there's some other things going on. We try not to overlap them with the business meeting, so as many people can attend as possible. The GLACUHO board meets several times throughout the year to conduct the various business needed for GLACUHO, but we always make sure there is a full business meeting during the annual conference. So it gives you an idea of what a more formal business meeting for the regional board is going to be like. Probably the most important thing that's going to occur during this time is the election of the new president-elect. The president of GLACUHO actually serves a 3-year term. They start, when they're elected, they're the president-elect, and they have certain duties, responsibilities there. Then they become the president of the organization in year 2, and then in year 3 serve as past president, and that also has some specific responsibilities to that. So it's a large commitment and a lot of dedication and time and effort from our colleagues willing to put themselves up for that position. So we will be electing that person at the business meeting, as well as a new treasurer for GLACUHO and a new secretary. Each institution receives 1 vote in this process. You do not need to pay a membership due or anything like that. All schools located within our region are active members of GLACUHO. We as state delegates will be there to sign each school in. Prior to the business meeting, we'll be very obvious where we're at. It would be probably most beneficial for you to sit with your delegation from your school. That way, if there's any discussion about which way your institution is going to vote, in that situation, you'll have the opportunity to participate in that discussion. So do your best to attend this meeting. It's a good experience. professionally. And again, it's another networking opportunity, and it gives you an opportunity to see how the regional board is run. We also have state meetings. All 4 state delegates will be on hand, and Sunday evening prior to our opening banquet, we'll have meetings for each individual state, and again, that'll be in your planner, I almost said your course book, in your conference book, so that you know which area you need to be. Again, it's an opportunity to meet other folks from your state, some small schools, some large schools. Great opportunity to know what's going on around your specific state. Again, sitting with your delegation is going to be helpful there. In Illinois and Michigan, you'll be electing new state delegates. We serve 2-year terms, and those are staggered, so Illinois and Michigan will be electing new delegates this year. Also, there will be specific business as it relates to your state, whether there are drive-in conferences which need to be discussed, or other planning, other questions that maybe are state-specific based on law, state of the economy at the public institutions, et cetera. It always is going to vary a little bit, but again, a great opportunity to meet other professionals within your state. I also want to talk a little bit about Night on the Town. We are fortunate this year AAL On-Campus Laundry is our corporate sponsor for this, and it's a little less formal. It's a chance to meet folks on a more social level. We'll have exhibitors present at this as well, and we'll talk more about exhibitors in a little bit. This year, our Night on the Town is the Grand Rapids Public Museum. It's right across the street from the Amway Grand Plaza, which is the conference hotel this year for GLACUHO. And there are all kinds of interesting little things to go through in the public museum. We'll have some hors d'oeuvres served over there. So that will be our evening. This is completely free of charge for everyone attending the conference. Immediately afterwards, and again, right across the street, is Mojo's Dueling Piano Bar and Restaurant. This is kind of our little after-party social. It should be a great time. They're opening just for us. Mojo's typically isn't open on a Monday night, so we're looking forward to that experience. I can tell you from personal experience, it's a great time to go to Mojo's. GLACUHO, in your conference, there are certain meals provided. The opening banquet on Sunday, the closing banquet on Tuesday evening are the 2 primaries. This will be listed if lunch or breakfast or any of those kind of things are on your own, or whether they're provided will be in your conference book. Do your best to come and attend the meals that are being provided by the conference. Part of your conference registration fee is to pay for those meals, so we want to make sure you're getting what you paid for when you registered for the conference. This is a great opportunity to sit with folks that you haven't met before or have just met to get to know more. You can always sit with folks from your campus at lunch when you get back to campus on Wednesday. If this is a little bit out of your comfort zone, maybe you kind of team up with some folks. Maybe your connections mentor can assist you with that. The state delegates or any member of the board is also more than willing to connect you with some folks, or even one of us, to sit with for a meal. You also want to make sure you bring your business cards with you to the conference. Again, it's a great opportunity to share resources and best practices. Some of the vendors may also have prizes in the exhibitor fair, and typically you would drop your business card off to be in those drawings. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of those on hand to be able to share with your colleagues. Also, sessions. If you're early to a session, you want to make sure, take the opportunity to introduce yourself to the other folks who are in the room, maybe that are attending or got there a little bit early themselves. Have some conversation about what institutions you're from. Maybe you've never heard of that, and you can talk a little bit. So again, lots of networking going on, lots of opportunities for networking. So please take advantage of those. The other thing I want to talk about briefly is the Multicultural Competencies Institute, which we refer to as MCI. This is a pre-conference session. This actually takes place on Saturday afternoon on November 12th. This is the day before the conference starts. And we've been doing this for several years, and it's an afternoon, more intense session about specific a specific topic as it relates to diversity. So we're looking at reassessing diversity training this year. Dr. Mary Ferguson from Indiana State University is going to be our presenter for that. There is a cap on the number of spaces here, and there are only a few available. There is a cost of $30 above and beyond your conference registration for this, but there are some seats available. There's a little more information on the GLACUHO website, which you're welcome to view, but hopefully if you're interested in that, you'll be able to sign up for that and participate in that experience. And I am going to turn it back over to Rob at this point.
Cool, thanks, Matt. We do have some other opportunities to learn that you can be involved with as well. One, which I'd really encourage you to consider, is our case study competition. Early registration is required for that. So again, you can direct link off this slide right now to pull up that window. Or if you want to head to the website later, it'll be pretty easy to find under our conference information. Again, that's www.glacuho.org. But you can either participate individually or as a team. It's even a good way to meet somebody new. I think our case study winners last year had actually never met each other before they kind of went into the case study competition. But it gives you a chance to kind of walk through a scenario or a situation that you could experience as a housing professional. And I got to judge the case study competition a couple of conferences ago, and it really is a neat learning opportunity to kind of put some of the theory you've learned to practice. There's two classification levels, if I'm not mistaken. There's a grad student level as well as a new professional level. So again, if you can, register for that early so you can make sure you participate in that. That usually occurs Sunday afternoon, usually starts right around 1 o'clock. So it's a good opportunity to take advantage of. We will also have consultants in residence. This is something else we feature at our conferences every year. One of our themes this year is just related around student conduct. So we're very fortunate to have Brian Farber, who is the Associate Dean and Director of Student Conflict from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, and a former housing guy himself, kind of come and be one of our professional consultants in residence. So he'll have some specialty presentations, kind of in a larger format, to educate our attendees. And kind of this year, we're doing something unique and really special in honor of the 40th anniversary of the GLACUHO Conference. We're going to have a panel of past presidents who are going to kind of speak to their experiences and history of the GLACUHO organization, as well as just some future trends they see kind of developing, things along those lines. So it'll be a great way to kind of get a historical snapshot of the organization. I know we've got a lot of past presidents who are coming in for the conference, even folks who are no longer in the profession or are outside of our region. So that's going to be kind of a once-in-a-lifetime session there, and I know we're all very excited to see what comes of that. There are some other opportunities too, and one that's really geared for people who are attending their first GLACUHO conference is our 5-star program. And this is kind of a recognition motivation program that we'll discuss at the first year or first-time attendee orientation. But it's an opportunity for you to kind of get involved in very specific ways at the conference. And we'll give you a list of things to put on your checklist to try to accomplish while you're at the conference. But if you can do 5 of those things, we'll give you a honorary 5-star pin that you can put on your badge and kind of carry around with you for future GLACUHO conferences. But it can be very easy stuff, like agreeing to be a program moderator or sitting with somebody at a banquet that you didn't know before. Attending Monday Night on the Town. There'll be a few different kind of activities you can participate in to get that 5-star recognition. So Vicabelle Robinson, our delegate for Ohio, will be reviewing that information at the first-time attendee orientation on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. That's a really fun program. And then, of course, the best opportunity to learn, of course, is our sessions. I think we've got close to 80 different programming sessions over Monday and Tuesday for you to participate in. There is a great variety of topics and interests that will be presented on. Some of them are tailored for more specific, job levels or job areas. Some are even just more general in their focus. So one of the best things you can really do is once you get a hold of the program booklet is to kind of map out what your experience is going to be. It'll have good descriptions of what the different programs are going to be, but be intentional about mapping out how you want to do it. Some folks want to concentrate on one topic while they're at the conference. They might really say, what, I'd really like to improve my competency levels in diversity and awareness, so they're going to focus on attending sessions related to that. Whereas some other folks might say, I really want to focus on programs geared more towards new professionals. That's acceptable too. A good tip too to remember, if there's multiple people from your campus attending the conference, try to split up a little bit, because if all 5 or 6 of you are in the same session, you're not diversifying your knowledge very well. So it's a good idea to maybe divide and conquer if you're fortunate enough to be coming to the conference with a few different folks from your home institution. We also get to do some field trips, which are pretty exciting for us. We've got 2 planned for this year's conference. The first is a field trip to the RT London Furniture Factory, which is actually based right out here in Grand Rapids. They're going to bus you down and provide you lunch, but they're going to take you into their factory and really kind of show you from the ground level up on how resin saw furniture is constructed, trends they're seeing in our profession as far as furniture, bedding, things of that sort that are popular and changing in our work environment right now. They're being very gracious in providing the transportation to that, sponsoring a lot of the different activities and events at the conference as well. I had a chance to join Anne Marie and a few other folks from the board just to kind of get a sample of that tour this summer. And it's going to be really neat. Highly recommend you consider signing up for that. There'll be a second tour, too, on Tuesday morning as well. And that tour will go out to Allendale, which is just a few minutes away from Grand Rapids, to the Grand Valley State University campus. They've had some new construction there that they're eager to show off and kind of show as far as some of these new trends in the field. So if that sounds a little intimidating, don't be intimidated. You really just have to sign up and kind of enjoy the ride. It's a very neat way to kind of add a feather to your cap at the conference for sure. There'll be information when you show up at the conference on how to sign up for those experiences, usually at the registration table. And also another neat opportunity for you to participate in is our exhibitors show. If this is your first time at the conference, one of our biggest partners and allies in GLACUHO are our vendors who participate in our conference every year. And so you have a chance to kind of go into the exhibitor show and interact with some of the different vendors, whether they're furniture, computer software, laundry companies, cleaning companies, cable television, all kinds of different vendors related to housing and residence life support our conference by kind of advertising their wares and kind of teaching you a little bit about what they have to offer to different housing departments. Sometimes people kind of figure, if I'm just a grad student or a first-year hall director, I don't have that purchasing power. That's okay. The vendors still really appreciate the opportunity to interact with you and kind of learn from you as much as you can learn from them. One of our formal ways to interact, too, is at that exhibitor breakfast. And Matt tipped you off earlier. Bring your business cards, because our vendors love to give away a lot of free prizes, Kindles, iPads, all kinds of stuff. So you can't win if you don't drop your business card off at the different booths. And then the big thing we would just ask you to do is, take an opportunity to really thank these vendors for participating, because the fees they pay to show their wares at our conference really drive down the cost of our conference. AAL is a perfect example. They've sponsored the entire Monday Night on the Town event, which is very gracious of them, and we really appreciate that. And that helps us keep conference costs low for you guys. And I think I will bounce it back to Matt.
Thank you very much. A few tips to learning at the conference. In terms of the sessions, you want to arrive early if you possibly can. We typically have a lot of delegates, and there are a lot of sessions to attend, but there are a finite number per time. So it's possible that sessions will fill up. If it's something that you absolutely wanted to learn about and bring back to your campus. You want to arrive early. If a session's already full, you might want to consider, as you look through the conference booklet, maybe picking a second favorite. So if that one's full, you can go on to the second one. We want you to participate. We've asked presenters over time, lecture is not always the best way, and I think we know that from our working with our students as well. So we've really asked presenters to make these as interactive as possible, discussion-based things, asking questions of the audience, looking for feedback from your various experiences and institutions. So please participate in the sessions as the moderator or presenters ask for that. And like I mentioned, plan out your conference beforehand. You'll receive your conference booklet when you arrive, and you can read through all the program descriptions and map out a strategy. Something else we're working on is we use a guidebook app for smartphones, so you'd be able to follow along and create your schedule on your smartphone if you decided to do that. The other thing, we've referred multiple times to the GLACUHO website, which is www.glacuho.org. And you do need the 3 W's at the front. I know a lot of browsers typically don't require that, but if you want to get the actual GLACUHO website, you do need to put that in there. Familiarize yourself with that as much as you can. It tells you a little bit more of our background, the various positions on our board, what we're all about. Lots of information available there, and all these different opportunities to sign up for various programs. We have archive information of past webinars and other programs we've had, so you get the opportunity to peruse all of that. We do update this pretty regularly, so make sure you're checking back often. I'll also throw in a plug before I go on to the next slide. Each state delegate has a listserv, and we send out updates regularly through our listserv. So if you're not on your state listserv, please contact Rob or me, and we'll make sure to get you onto the appropriate listserv for your state. Even we'll take it Illinois or Ohio. If you want to let us know, we'll make sure Jason and Vika are made aware as well. We have a service project at the annual conference as well. This year we'll be working with Westwood Middle School, which is part of the Grand Rapids Public School System. It's on the west side of Grand Rapids. Just doing some work to help improve the environment at the school that doesn't have lots of funding in their pocket, which is kind of prevalent in a lot of larger school districts, especially in Michigan. This is Monday morning from 7 a.m. to noon. This does overlap with the board meeting, so this will be decision number one you have to make. Do you want to stay for the board meeting, or would you rather participate in the community service project? Both are good decisions. We're not going to tell you which one to do one way or the other. But Lindy Wagner, L. Wagner at housing.siu.edu is our contact there. So if you're interested or want more information, you can contact her. Also, these folks, as we've talked about the trips and the community service project, we do ask that you sign up for that, but you'll be able to do that when you arrive at the conference, and it'll be very obvious where folks are at, so you can sign up for those opportunities so we know you're coming. Another opportunity you have is to volunteer yourself at the conference as a session moderator. Moderators essentially will assist the presenters with whatever needs they might have to get the room ready to present their session, introduce the presenters for each session, and then at the end would distribute and collect evaluations for that presentation. It's a great opportunity to, again, get involved in the regional conference and start playing a role in your professional association. So we would love to have as many of you as possible serve as moderators. We'll have a training on what exactly we need you to do and sign up for particular times, whether you want to do one session or multiple sessions. Oftentimes people will moderate sessions where they were planning to attend anyway, because that often works out. So we look forward to that. That training would happen Sunday evening at the conference, pretty much right after dinner. A bulk of the grunt work of GLACUHO is done by various committees, and we have a number of standing committees and one committee which rotates, which is our Contemporary Issues Committee, which each year will vary based on the needs of our profession at the time. Our focus this year is on student conduct, so our faculty or consultant in residence is associated with that, our case studies associated with that, and we'll have multiple sessions associated with that. And that will change from year to year. But everyone has the opportunity to serve on a GLACUHO committee, and I would encourage you to do that. Each committee has a little bit different range of things that they do. Again, if you go to our website, each committee has their own page, and you get an idea of everything in which they're involved. Highly encourage you to sign up for that. If you go to the website, you can sign up and apply to be on a committee right now, and then we'll make committee placements here not very long after the conference. So we look forward to seeing all of you on committees. Then comes the opportunity to present. Obviously, the programs for this year's GLACUHO Conference have already been selected, but it'll give you an idea of what goes into programs for this conference. And so when the next year comes around, we look forward to seeing you as a presenter, not just attendee at the GLACUHO Conference. It gives you a little bit different perspective. It gives you a chance to share your best practices, your ideas with your peers, lead discussion with your colleagues from around the region. So again, a great opportunity, and would highly encourage you to consider presenting in future conferences. All right, so just kind of wrapping up here a little bit. Next steps for you as we are about a month or so away from the annual conference. We want to make sure you arrive prepared. Talk to other members of your delegation, folks who have been to the conference before, about what you should bring, what you should leave at home for the conference. Be ready for the weather. Grand Rapids in November can be a little chilly. My alma mater is Grand Valley State, so I've spent some time out there. I won't lie, there's a possibility it could snow by then, but we're hoping for tremendous warm weather like we had last year. Of course, that was in St. Louis. It's a professionally relaxed atmosphere, so we are a little bit more casual. There are some events where you might want to dress a little more professionally, such as maybe the closing banquet. This is a decision you have to make. You'll see people that are wearing coat and tie. You'll see people in jeans. You'll see things in between. So it is a little bit more of a business casual conference. We talked about having a game plan, looking through the materials or program, the program book, so you know what you'd like to do. Reading through the materials so you have an idea of what GLACUHO is and what we're about, what we're going to be doing at the conference. Like Rob mentioned, do you want to focus on a particular topic or multiple topics? How you want to spread out the members of your delegation to glean as much information as possible to bring back to your home institution. And again, we want to see you at the first-time attendee orientation on that Sunday afternoon. So we look forward to seeing you in Grand Rapids. We've been in the planning stage of this conference now for a long time. It's special to many of us because it is the anniversary year for us for this conference. So it should be a great time in Grand Rapids. If you've never been to Grand Rapids, it's a great city. I think people will be pleasantly surprised at how much there is to do, places to eat, etc., within walking distance of where we're staying. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody up in Grand Rapids. With that, I'm going to throw it back to Rob, see if he has anything else he wants to add here at the end, and then we'd be happy to take some questions.
I think, Matt, you covered it real well. I think we're open for questions.
Yeah, guys, one came in. This is submitted from Joe at Illinois Wesleyan. He asked, will the app for the smartphones be available for download before the conference?
The answer is yes. I might defer if Anne Marie's on the line. I can't remember the exact timeline for when that will go live.
She is not. Okay. I believe the answer is yes as well, and I think we'll be posting that on the website a week or so before the conference so that you'll be able to access that. But, Joe, I'll go ahead and take your information, and I'll email you when I get the answer to that question.
I have an unsmartphone, so I'll be very jealous of you, Joe.
No other questions have come in at this point. So If anybody else has a question that they would like to ask, please submit that now through the question box, or you can press the raise your hand button and I'll be happy to call on you.
As we're waiting for that, again, I just encourage you to check out the website, www.glacuho.org. It does have all the conference information at that site, very easy to navigate and kind of find. And then the second plug would really just to make sure you're taking advantage of the connections and first-time attendee orientation on Sunday of the conference. Because if this is your first time, those are really the two best sessions you can kind of participate in and really start to enhance your conference experience.
We'll make this be the last call for questions. Anybody have any questions? This is the last call.
All right.
Okay. Well, while we're trying to wrap up here, just a couple quick announcements. The early bird deadline is coming up. It's Friday the 14th, so that's next week. If you're not already registered, you'll want to get registered as soon as possible. Matt had mentioned the MCI, the Multicultural Competencies Institute, earlier. I do want to report that we did reach capacity for that, but we were able to open up just a couple more seats. So right now, I believe we may have 2 more seats open. So if that's something that you really want to do, I would highly recommend that you register for that yet today. I believe that's it for announcements, and no more questions have come in, so I will turn it over to the presenters to wrap up for the day.
All right. Well, we thank you a lot for listening to us today. Any questions, feel free to contact us afterwards. But we are very excited for your interest in GLACUHO, and we are very confident you're going to enjoy your experience in Grand Rapids this fall.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you in about a month.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great afternoon.
Eric.